This is Hannibal. Huge news updates today in the world of wrestling. NXT did a 0.16 rating last night. Netflix has announced this long-awaited docu-series on Vince McMahon that the producer of Tiger King is affiliated with is going to be starting on Netflix next month. So that's something wrestling fans could be looking forward to. It will air before Raw moves to Netflix 2025. Janelle Grant's spokesperson has confirmed she is not part of the documentary. No surprise. I wouldn't expect them to be too hard on McMahon, even though he's no longer owner of WWE. Netflix is kind of in bed with WWE now. So you wouldn't want to make the former owner of the company look too bad, considering you're going to be doing at least a 5-year contract with them. Nikki Bella, who used to date John Cena, her ex-husband has been arrested for domestic assault, according to TMZ. His name is Atem Krisvinstev. There's no word on if the domestic assault was related to Nikki Bella or not. Of course, Brie Bella was at the AEW show on the weekend. I did watch an interview with John Cena recently where he said he is interested in breaking the current tied record he has for world titles with Ric Flair. However, he did say in this interview that he doesn't want to just come in and get the world title shot, because I think he said in the same interview he hasn't won a match since 2018. He said he could see himself winning Money in the Bank or the Royal Rumble and getting a title shot that way. The other thing is, to me, unless he wins the title that Cody Rhodes currently has, to me, the second quote unquote world title is not in the same level at all of the Cody Rhodes title. I don't even remember who has the second title. All I know is it's not Damian Priest anymore. As far as NXT moving to Las Vegas, Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio says that yes, that's probably gonna be a reality. WWE is like being indecisive right now as far as saying flat out if they're going to keep the Orlando NXT open or not. He said for the longest time when they closed the UK NXT, they said they were going to open WWE Europe, which never ended up happening. So he said whatever they say about the future of NXT is always kind of so-so. But there is legitimate another building being built at the UFC offices right now that's going to include an arena that can hold 1,000 instead of about 300 to 600, where NXT ran an event recently, had 300 paid, 300 comps apparently, according to Dave Meltzer. But like the UFC's headquarters is in Las Vegas. They have state-of-the-art recovery facilities and training facilities at that headquarters. I've been there. Forrest Griffin gave me the tour. You can look up Hannibal tours UFC headquarters. That was like 5 years ago, so I'm sure it's even more state-of-the-art now. It makes perfect sense to move from NXT from Florida to Vegas. Cheaper flights, definitely. Not that Orlando's are that expensive, but I mean, it makes sense to me. Apparently, Ricochet made his Dynamite debut last night and got a very underwhelming reaction. I find it funny that Will Ospreay, who is probably the most overrated wrestler today, I admit he's the greatest, probably the greatest acrobat in wrestling. But I'm sick and tired of people saying he's the greatest wrestler today. He's great at leg slapping and flips. But just to show you, if you look at like the interest level of AEW, if he was the greatest wrestler today, why is AEW, other than a few outliers, doing so poorly? Like, How can anyone say Will Ospreay is better than Cody Rhodes, who I don't even like, but he's a bigger draw than Will Ospreay or Roman Reigns? The best wrestler, it's fake, is the person that can make the most money. If you want to go by wrestling, that would be the best college wrestler or amateur wrestler. But to me, a good wrestler makes you suspend your disbelief. I've done martial arts, I've done kickboxing, I've done boxing. I've never heard of legs slapping when you throw kicks. So to me, he doesn't make me suspend my disbeliefs. Is he a great acrobat? Yes, but I'm sick of hearing he's a great wrestler. I find it boring as hell to watch his stuff because it looks so phony, and the spectacular moves look cooperative. I'd rather see Bruiser Brody just go in there and destroy someone, or Vader. I'd rather watch Vader beat the crap out of a jobber than a fake looking Will Ospreay match. That's just my opinion. And Ricochet, I mean, what do they actually expect that he's gonna like come in? He was like a mid card guy in WWE. They expect he's suddenly going to turn AEW's business around. He wrestles that same style. If you want a different reaction, bring someone like Goldberg in. That'll get you a reaction. But anyways, I don't care. To each their own. I'm just sick of hearing how you can say Will Ospreay is such a great wrestler when we see AEW is not even announcing the gate. It's been almost a week. The gate of their Wembley show, because last year it was 83,000. This year it's 50,000 ish, and a lot of the tickets were given away. So it's like a $30,000 drop. I actually heard Meltzer say it's the biggest attendance not announced ever in the history of wrestling, because most people would be happy with that, but because it's such a drop from last year, it's a sign that the company's less popular. So AEW not announcing the crowd, I mean, that's a sign to me that a lot of people, especially jocks or people that have actually been in real fights. I like Dave Meltzer, but he loves Will Ospreay. I recently heard an interview with him, which was just like putting Ospreay over for like 15 minutes to the point where it made me want to puke. It's like, if you've been in a real fight, you know that his matches are fucking phony looking, and I'm sorry to swear, but I'm sick of being told what a good wrestler is. Bruiser, at least the Ultimate Warrior, like, I mean, say what you want. You can say he only do 5 moves. He was believable to me because he looked like a warrior. He talked like a warrior. His moves to me were believable. I don't know. Same with Goldberg. I could suspend my disbelief with Goldberg. For people that call wrestling fake now, I can't even defend it because it just looks really fake and choreographed overall. There are some outliers, but sorry to go on that rant. I'm just so uninterested. The backstage stuff is interesting, but the actual products of wrestling these days bore the shit out of me. I find them so boring, and I'm sick of being told like how great things are when there's hardly any house shows anymore. The reason there's so much more revenue in WWE is because there's more places to make revenue than ever before. And people travel in for the major events more than ever before. But on a per capita basis, there's less fans. Hopefully that'll change with Netflix. But anyways, that's just my opinion. Have a great afternoon.